after my third dive, it was 1600 on a Wednesday in Raleigh, Durham, and I left to head back here. And that traffic didn't bother me at all. You know, that's what really messed us up. And I have to pull off to the side of the road and let the world kind of calm down.
And now you find out, not so normal. And we live in a world, and by nature of it, if you show any weakness at all ever, it's bad.
Yeah.
And so nobody wants to say, hey, my world is shaking from these rocket shots.
And nobody knew TBI or any of that stuff back then. We're aware that you guys were here, but a call of an armed guy walking down the street is not an unusual call for this area. So we weren't sure if it was you guys or if it was somebody calling about you guys or somebody calling about a real armed gunman coming around going to mess with you guys. Yeah. But like our bells were rung. We're like, shit. I mean, even though I had my fingers in my ears, it rocked us all. We're like, oh. One of the other guys was outside, went over with Bill, who was like stumbling, like, oh, went across the street to look in the bullet trap.
It feels like it takes the life out of you.
Yep. So I'd have the vertigo back then, and then when I was at...
And you're talking about getting vertigo just standing on the earth.
When I got to SOI, I could tell it. I could tell when it was going to happen because my left ear always rings. And then if this went quiet, my left ear went quiet, my right ear starts ringing, I knew I had to change something because I'm getting ready to have a vertigo bout. That was my sign for me internally how I knew I was getting ready to have a vertigo bout. So I was having vertigo bouts off and on. And then finally I had a vertigo bout just tied into the next day. I had a bout today. I was almost recovered tomorrow when I had my appointment with him. And when they're like, oh, I see.
Yeah, there's things.
Without having visual cues to know that I'm, and then I go and I fell and they go, she's like, oh, the TBI clinic must have sent you because you're bad. You know, I was like, no. I was like, no, it was, Dr. Perez across the way sent me for the ear, nose, and throat. She's like, you need to go to the TBI clinic. Yeah. So fast forward to my final evaluation. And I go and I do my evaluation for the balance stuff, and the lady's like, well, you do have some improvement here and here, but you're still, it's still not bad for a 35-year-old man. And I was like, cool, but what's it say for a 43-year-old man? Because that's how old I am. And she slides it over. She's like, oh, shit.
Not so good.
No, she's like, oh, shit, you're fine.
Oh, she said it was bad. Oh, yeah.
I was like, how do you guys have my medical record? How do you not know my birth date? I just looked younger than 43. And she's like, oh my gosh.
That's awesome.